And it's a huge pleasure to welcome you to the very first event of the, and I have to think really carefully which year it is, which is definitely a sign of age. The other day I put 2010 on something, the 2011 Wenlock Poetry Festival, to the very first event. And it's wonderful to have Shropshire poets to kick off the whole festival. But before I do, I just want to say thank you to the person who inspired it all, which is Anna Drader, who's hiding. And I just want you to know that the festival absolutely would never happen without Anna and without her inspiration and her amazing ability to get people to do things. I speak from experience.
This one is called Hot June. Yesterday, you topped and toed me with your touch. I woke to tea, a bowl of berries, and a gentle stroke in the hollow before my rising hip. You drove me home, and I worked hard again all day. I ate, tired, took a bath, and texted you, dry me. At 9, your car before my unlocked door. What more? Your shirt sleeves rolled, between palms soap foams. First, my shoulders, tensions ease. I lay back and soak. My breasts are next. You get those very clean. I mean, they almost shone. I could go on. Nipples pert. One leg, the other, fingers slide between toes. I stand, drip wet, glossy alabaster, warm towel wrapped around my body. You rub me dry, enjoy my leaning curves. My head rests on your shoulder. From down the drab field edge, their voices come. Through the mean hedges, yellow leaves and slimy caterpillar stench, to the quiet back road where I rest, straddling my bike. Angela's bells, a rhythmic chop, chop, between picked up conversation carries above lines of blunted necks. Beyond are tight-spaced round buds rolled out, full as roses in receding rows. These short sentinels regiment the moves of two bent figures, faces low-lit, clothes dirt grey, as they move in unison. Bow, bend, cut, de-leaf the cold, weighty winter balls that unite them with a rugby throw and catch in frost-bitten hands. Each cabbage cracks its green skull against the rising headscrum in the crate.
This is something that I saw in Bridgenorth at a wedding. Haste to the Wedding, it's called, which is actually a dance tune, traditional in brackets, it says here. They hoist her up, the new bride, and parade her round at shoulder height. It's part of their Morris ceremony, old and borrowed, the halting, skipping steps, the jumps and cracking of sticks, stout enough to break knuckles. A piece of bark comes flying off. It's a joke, that's all. A jingling end to the afternoon, a climax. She whoops, astonished, at the view from up here, the pub yard, the gawping father, the pie-stuffed page boy, the town, and all the future laid out before her. There, with pint glass to his lips, her new husband manages only a nervous laugh, adjusts his carnation as she is swept away, still waving like a surfer, caught by some cross-tide far from land. It's called After the Deluge. Ducks are in the birdhouse, where the robin used to sit. They're eating from the bread bin, which is floating next to it. Eels are in the meter cupboard getting electric shocks. Water voles are reproducing in the letterbox. There's a heron in the kitchen where the blender used to be, and he's dipping in the fridge for frozen kippers for his tea. Rice grows in the rockery, the drive is full of trout, and even plastic gnomes are pulling 7-pounders out. You have to see the funny side and have a little grin with all our downstairs, upstairs, and all the outside in. I never really knew that there was so much life out there, but now I watch it floating past from the comfort of my chair.
Days come along. Sometimes the shredding stops and there is a pause, which they think is kinder. Instead, there is the hunched anticipation of the fall. Days come along when you stand out like a horse in a field of hill sheep, a winter-coated thoroughbred among woolly jumpers. Days presented on a blue plate, gold-leafed, with the slim apple paring of a silver moon embossed upon them. Fine art. The harshness of rocks is an old, silent violence, breaking through in the remotest of places. A piety of doves against the grey. A pale thought, as inconsequential as a bat, drifts against dusk-scented, ragged trees, played out on common garden splendour days like these. Driving through the Black Mountains, I wonder if it was your black dog already lying in the dust road, that day the heat pulsed back blue thunder from deserted houses. The farmyard in August, empty of life, but guarded by that dog. I can see your eyes, drained and black as the worked-out mines, scattering the gnawed rocks, abandoned for other sea-divided shores. Buzzards circled brown peaks, almost Andean. You left us stricken, scoured out like the valley sides, unforgiving grief. In the lush bottoms among the light-cracked trees, we just wanted to hide. Wounds of roads cut deeply, left redly strung out, bypassing the heart. The other faded away up side roads dotted with expectations of primroses and the faded gentility of last season's flowers. An impressionist painting person, all blurred edges, visions of keeps turning into courts, battlements and towers. I left without knowing you, distance of speech. At that time and in that place we hid, played games with one another, out of sight and reach. Up highways of the heart, we passed portal frames under construction. A cry of crows sounds out your name, percussion back from the Riven hills, both lost out there. One a doubting atheist, one a doubting pagan. In the black of slopes thrown shadow or white sun's glare, both waiting for connections. Burnt heather cowhides the beacon heights, dormant, comatose, a tanning of the ground, ripe for growth and regeneration. Somewhere, far up and out of sight, there pours down, bellicose, the choir of noise from invisible sheep, a sweet commiseration.